What's one thing that made you say, never fucking again? And why? I purchased a bag of 150 mint Mentos as a study snack. Got stuck into an assignment and somehow ate the entire bag over a 12-hour period. Next day my partner and I walked our dogs down to a cafe. Stomach becomes sore while we drink our coffee. I looked at the toilet but it's a busy cafe with a single toilet. Figure I'll just wait to do my business back home. About a half-hour walk away. As we start walking back I begin to sweat. Cramps become unbearable. Give my partner the dog lead and tell her I need to run. She doesn't know what's going on. I start sprinting, which then makes the stomach cramps so much worse. Realize I'm not going to make it. Almost crying from the stomach cramps. See a bush. Can't hold it. Pull pants down. Don't quite succeed. Shit everywhere. Bush isn't concealed. Other dog walkers walk past and dog runs up. Mortified. Still can't stop shitting. Partner sees me. My pug, happy to see me, runs straight up and into my Mentos diarrhea. Haven't eaten Mentos ever again. It's a fun story now, but God did that day suck. Partner loves to bring it up at dinner parties. Attempting to catch my dog's shit in the bag rather than picking it up from the ground seemed like a good idea. Dog sharted up my arm. Had a long walk back home through my neighborhood covered in shit. Never again. Yesterday I was in a hurry and not being very safe and put a 1/4 drill bit through my hand. Could have been 100% avoided by taking even the slightest of safety precautions, but I was frustrated and rushing to finish. Never again will I not take the simple moment to do it correctly. When I was like 11, I had some friends, the kids that lived next door, over, and we were just hanging out, playing video games all night. My mom ordered Papa John's for us. We tore the pizza up like the ravenous savages we were and continued gaming. That night the boy stayed over while his sisters and little brother went back home. We go to bed that night and at some point one of us, can't remember who, began to throw up, which woke the other one up. My mom rushes in and helps clean up the mess. Once the vomiting stops we go back to bed. But then before long ITD start again. Just like before. Sometimes I was first. Sometimes it was him. Sometimes we could get to the bathroom on time. Sometimes we couldn't. My mother, the saint of a woman she is, cleaned up all of that vomit. Apparently things were no better at their house. To this day, some 15 years later, I refuse to eat Papa John's. I'm sure it was just a one-time thing, but once was enough. Getting an endometrial biopsy. Worst pain of my life. If I ever get cancer, they can just take the whole damn uterus out. I'm not going through that again without anesthesia. I had my gallbladder removed after a gallstone. I thought I was having a heart attack and called an ambulance. While I waited, I started to arrange all of my finances for my wife. The hospital ran a zillion tests, told me it was a gallstone, and the only real solution was to remove the whole gallbladder if it came back. Asterisk if it came back. Asterisk. Yup. Fuck that shut. I told the doctor I would never go through that pain again and he could schedule me for surgery. Then and there. I've had women tell me the pain from a gallstone lodged in the duct is worse than childbirth, and I believe them. No way was I going through that again. Making friends with people because you feel bad for them. Be nice, but no more than that is required. Pity is no reason to start a friendship and it never turns out well. Neither for them nor for you. Driving through an intersection immediately upon my light changing to green. Some asshole ran a red one day and almost T-boned me on the driver's side. Never again. I always wait for a few seconds before I start driving through an intersection. longer if there is a blind corner. Alcohol and cocaine almost ruined my life. Started drinking at 16. Started doing coke at 26. And took till I was damn near 41 to quit. Dumped my last baggie of blowout beside my garage 23 years ago and haven't touched the shit since. Living with a couple. Roommates suck in general, but 3 times in my life I split an apartment with a couple and it was awkward at best, and truly miserable when they fought. Amniocentesis. Having a giant needle stuck through my pregnant belly and being dug around to get a sample triggered my fight, flight, and I was sweating so much from the intensity. I didn't watch while they did it, but my mother-in-law was there and started crying while they were digging around. She held my hand, looked at me with tears in her eyes and tried to calmly say, "It's okay. You're okay." I still have nightmares about it 10 years later. My ex. We were giving long distance a shot. It was an on and off relationship for like 3 years. I traveled 18 hours to see him only to find out he had been cheating on me and no one from his circle even knew I existed. I cried for a straight 18 hours bus ride back home. Never fucking again. Skydiving. I did my first and only jump free fall with 2 instructors at the same time at 9k feet, i.e. no static line or tandem. In hindsight, not the best or safest idea. I had bungee jumped multiple times before, so I figured I'd handle it correctly. Well, it was an interesting day, but the part that got me was after the instructors caught up to me and stabilized me. I was reaching for the cord but couldn't seem to find it. That's when I realized that I could very possibly die if I didn't find it. Luckily either I pulled it or the instructors did. I'm pretty sure they did. But the part that really fucked with me was when the chute started to open, and as the instructors weren't there anymore, that I realized that if the parachute malfunctioned I'd be dead. I knew that it had a 99.999999% chance of working correctly, but if something did happen, I wouldn't be able to stabilize myself and probably not be able to break away the main chute and pulled the reserve soon enough. I didn't have time to think about any of that at the time, as I was focused on what I needed to do in case, but it pretty much took away any future plans I ever had on continuing that hobby. It's an odd feeling knowing that you literally have 5 seconds to make a decision without their experience to help yourself. Meth. I was a hardcore amphetamine pill addict and said fuck it one night and smoked a shitload of meth. I was up for 2 or 3 days. By the last day I was well into psychosis and left town. Stayed in a hotel room for a few days to make sure I didn't become a meth addict and to evaluate what the fuck I was doing with my life. I didn't stop the pills immediately, but I'm never fucking doing meth again. Peppermint essential oil. Why? My darling spouse read online you could use it on lady bits to provide a tingling sensation. Decided to do so to me. Didn't read the bit about majorly diluting it first. The result? The sensation of 1,000 fire ants biting my most intimate parts while simultaneously being submerged in lava. And since it's an oil, washing it off did jack shit. I sobbed in a half-full bathtub whilst rubbing my cooch with a towel doused in vegetable oil. The remedy? According to the internet, 0/10 do not recommend. Never again. Edit. A number. Working retail. I think it's something every young person should do once. People suck. Especially with our bullshit culture of the customer is always right. Seeing the red flags and coming up with excuses for his actions. 5 years in an abusive relationship and finally got out. Never will I ignore the signs again. Extending an olive branch to my father to make peace with him. As a child, he didn't want to know me. But I knew even then that the time would come when I would be an adult and he would want to get to know me. I tried repeatedly as I was growing to find common ground. Stability. Fucking anything with him. Nah. I tried adopting his interests. Talking to him about things he gave a shit about. Nah. I tried involving him with things I was passionate about. Nah. Well, sure enough. As an adult now that he's retired and his health isn't what it used to be, he wants to get to know me. Get fucked, cunt. There is no way in hell I am letting him into any part of my life to fuck it up some more. 20 fucking years. He had 20 fucking years to get to know me until I moved away and got him out of my life. Nah. I'm good without you, bro.